Water conditioning is dictated primarily by the quality of the water that the consumer is dealing with. What consumers need to understand is that not all water conditioners are the same. Water softeners accomplish a very specific task in that they exchange various hard water minerals for salts, either sodium or potassium. Water softeners are not filters. They do not remove contaminants such as chemicals and heavy metals and things of that nature unless components are added to the typical ion exchange softener. So the consumer needs to understand that not all water conditioners are the same. Water softeners specifically convert hard water, definition of hard water being water containing dissolved minerals, to softened water, which is water that no longer contains hard water minerals but does contain salt. There is a huge difference between soft water and softened water. Soft water is water that naturally is mineral free, and that occurs in the continental United States in about 3 locations, one in the Pacific Northwest, one in the southeast coastline of the country, and another near Austin, Texas, in the central part of the country. Beyond those 3 locations, most water in the United States is referred to as hard water, meaning it contains dissolved minerals. So in order to convert that water, which contains those dissolved minerals, to softened water, you need to inject either sodium or potassium salts. So that is a huge difference between naturally soft water and water that has been softened. Folks on salt-restricted diets or with health conditions that would limit their amount of salt intake should be very much aware of the skin absorption of salt in softened water, as well as the reaction of salt water to copper plumbing and brass fixtures. Most plumbing in buildings is not designed to carry salt water. It's designed to carry fresh water. Attaching a water softener to a main water line is going to change the characteristic of that water from fresh to salt water. Also, salt water can't be used effectively to water most plants, and for that reason, softened water is seldom connected to outside hose bibs, since using it in landscaping in most cases will not produce pleasant results. It's also not typically used to water houseplants for the same reason. So water conditioners, on the other hand, may not be just water softeners. They may be filtration systems or scale prevention devices, as we've discussed. So the consumer needs to evaluate what it is they want to accomplish and also how much maintenance they're prepared to put into a system. Water softeners typically require the addition of that sodium or potassium salt. That means bringing home 20 to 40 pound bags of salt and adding them to the unit on a regular basis. It has a high maintenance factor with respect to the brine tank that produces that heavy salt water used in regeneration. And it usually requires reverse osmosis, which is the only known technology that'll take that salt back out of the water for drinking water purposes. And reverse osmosis units require constant maintenance and sanitizing of the tank and changing the filters. So compare that to a whole house filtration system that may require little or no maintenance. The associated costs of not only the filters but the water used in constant backwashing and regenerating of a water softener is usually anywhere from 5 to 10 times the amount of water used in a whole house filtration system. So you need to evaluate the cost of the water, the cost of the salts, the cost of the filters, add all of those things together with the cost of the initial investment, add something in for your time and maintenance to keep those units operating, and compare that to what you can accomplish with whole house filtration and one of the no salt alternatives. And most people would agree that they would accomplish what they're looking for with the alternatives as opposed to the traditional water softener system.